those people don't go into my A list of strategic partnerships. I just move on to the next person who is, and does get it, and does want to work with us, and does want to grow their business and have some fun. So thinking about communication and how you diarise to keep in contact with people and have those multiple touch points and add a value and share your contacts, add some value for that person. We talked about maybe having coffee over lunch to be more efficient, also saving costs in a difficult environment, also spending more time talking, building deeper relationships rather than meeting. And we talked about, and another point as well, about there's a scattergun approach to networking. It's great to know lots and lots of people, go to lots of different events, but actually it's even better to just get to know 50 people really, really well and sit down with them more regularly. You get on well with them personally, you buy into them, they become your friends, and actually develop a plan of attack. How can you cross-fertilise your networks and do more business for each other and together? And those people that get that right and do it daily, they're the ones where their business grow quicker and more successfully. And the fourth dimensional side is having the quality business development on a day-to-day basis and using the strategic partnership approach. But it needs to be fun and easy. You need to remember about why you're doing it in the first place. Generally, it is a means to grow and improve your business, and it's important to remember that. It's about reciprocal and consistent partnership. Comes back to the diligent communicator again. Not discriminating. Many of our larger clients have been referred to us by our smallest clients and our most difficult clients as well. Again, I guess a prejudice. Don't think someone can't help you, or don't think this service isn't right for you. No, actually find out more, research it, test it. It's very easy with human psychology to make presumptions that something isn't right for us. I was running a business development workshop week before last, and someone in one of the groups was discussing whether Facebook was right for their business, and they literally said, I don't think that's right for my business, but they didn't actually know. So the advice there is, well, go and speak to an expert who can tell you and identify whether it will work for your business or not. And we do that in many walks of life. Transferable trust. Can you tell me what transferable trust is?
Is it where you're a trusted advisor to somebody, so that the referral from a trusted advisor to somebody else is transferring the trust that you've been given onto them?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, thank you very much. So an example is, a different example of that is Charlie, who I know very well, and was introduced to someone else I know really well, who was introduced to me by someone else I really know really well, and so it goes on. The first person at the start of that chain, which is 6 people back, is someone that I've known for several years, and when they say to me that they know someone for 15 years, they think they're going to get on well, they're good at what they do, they're credible, they're a diligent communicator, they get partnership and networking, and they're keen to help businesses grow and be successful, then I can take that 15 years of trust and relationship and adopt it and go straight into doing business with that person. If you met someone cold at a networking event, how long would it take you typically to feel that you could trust them with your clients? There's a question to audience.
2 glasses.
2 glasses, fantastic. 2 glasses spread over maybe 12 months. 2 years.
7 touches.
7 touches. Someone was listening. Thank you. But the point is, it takes time to build relationships. So again, with transferable trust, you can really cut corners in a very calculated risk approach, and grow your business and your network a lot more quickly. And again, you're having fun because generally like-minded people do recommend each other and become good friends. Thank you very much. Just coming to the end. Competitive friendships. An example of which, very briefly, is where I sent an email to the CEO of a larger business coaching organisation which spans across 37 countries, and I said, I want to talk to you about partnership and how we can work together. That firm specialises in firms that are specifically ultra-high growth firms from a minimum turnover of 20 million and above. We work with firms up to 50 million turnover, but there's 5 million SMEs in the UK, and a large majority of them fall under 20 million turnover, which is where we're focused. So also because of the expensive fees of this other firm, a number of businesses can't actually afford or buy into their services. So we're in a position now where we're talking to the equity partners about a joint venture, and we're talking about businesses that they can refer into us. So some other competitors that we come across, they shy it, but they kind of don't really want to talk to us because we're a threat. Well, we don't actually know that really until we've actually sat down properly and understood where our expertise really lies and where our niches might be. So we now help our clients to do some more research and really understand their competitors and try and find if there's opportunities to build economies of scale and do business development together, focusing on each other's unique niches and sector focuses, for example. Quality business development, it does take time, but it shouldn't take forever if you're leveraging the transferable trust and the quality relationships and the reciprocal approach. Very, very quickly, when I founded Advantage, or before I founded Advantage, I mind mapped a number of the different businesses that I could think of that provided really good service and products to SMEs that helped them grow and become more successful in some shape or form. So this is just a sample of some of the businesses and organisations that are on there, and then there are a number of companies behind those sectors and professions that we work with. We're always looking to add to that, to find different specialists and different niches, different personality types. And it's been a really successful strategy for us, and literally building our strategy off the back of strategic partnerships and reciprocal quality relationships. It's very cost effective as well. So just a quick share of that with you now. And all the people that we work with most effectively in this space, they know their skills, they also know our skills, and they go to that. They've got that approach where they talk to business about how they can help them through their network, rather than just flogging their own services there and then at the time that they first interact with that prospect. Just very, very quickly, we're not big fans of the Advantage of really long business plans. We like the short, sharp and the visual formats, which we find are far more effective and far more likely to be implemented and revisited and actually used. And just some other points to it in there is to create one-page plans off the back of the overall company, one-page plans that are specific to key areas of businesses that often get overlooked or don't get, where not enough time is spent on them to really drive the value, such as internal and external communication plans, a specific sales and marketing strategy, which can have several offset streams from an online approach to an offline approach, linking back into business development, strategic partnerships. All of those can have one-page plans and mind maps off the back of that. And then you can assign a member of your team or a co-director to lead a specific element of that strategy. So you're kind of delegating and spreading responsibility. A separate plan but linked into sales and marketing for targeting new business development. We've touched on some of that today. For example, the approach with talking to your competitors. We work with a number of professional services firms, quite large ones, accountants and lawyers. And one of the first things we look at is how closely internal departments work with each other. Law firms where the family law department has not made any referrals to the company commercial team for the last 5 years, and the head of each department, maybe they have a meeting once every quarter, don't know what they discuss, but they haven't made any referrals or aligned their strategies and made sure that their teams are incentivised and motivated internally to externally communicate what the whole company does rather than just the department. So again, another example of very successful firms that do also miss some very basic tricks sometimes. What particular firm I'm referencing there spends £55,000 a year on external marketing, typically. They haven't leveraged all these internal opportunities to market within the team themselves, which they're spending a lot of money on in terms of salaries, don't forget. Also having strategies, one-page plans for enhancing client advocacy and referral programs. Another accessible, low-cost way to grow your business. And when you're doing all of this, just a quick summary of the process, very quick summary, is to start with a vision, communicate that vision throughout the company so that everyone's bought in and they understand where you're trying to get to as a business management team. Make sure that you review those plans and strategies. Again, including the input of people lower in the organisation, making time to act on the plan. We talked about sharing it and enjoying it as well. So today's great isn't great enough for tomorrow. We need to do a little bit more. A lot of the opportunities to do a little bit more already at your fingertips within your current network, your current team, your current client base. Make sure you've got a plan and make time to make the most of that. Quality and affordable support is available. You just have to look out for it and be willing to accept it when it comes. Take time and advice to get your strategy right to maximise your business legacy. And the right expertise, such as those you've seen present today, and the right time and the right spend, or rather investment, should bring you a return on investment. And we would suggest it's something you should at least explore and know whether it does or doesn't work for you, rather than think and presume. One final thing, small gift for you that was on your chair. We recently launched a free online business assessment for business owners, large or small. It can also be used for senior managers within companies as well, from a personal development perspective. It takes 15 minutes to complete per individual, and we offer a free consultation off the back of that, which takes 30 minutes, where we'll give some free advice on the key strengths and key opportunities to improve or grow your business or your personal strategy if you're working within a firm. If that's not relevant to you, I'm very sure it will be relevant to a number of people in your network, so feel free to pass that on. Any quick questions before we wrap up and we hit the bar and the buffet?
I think I make one observation about business development. I work for an American company, and the vice president always says there, look, if you can develop 10 centres of influence, you can have business for the rest of your life. And I think very often a lot of us spread ourselves too thinly. You know, come to events like this, you may deal with 3 or 4 people from HSBC, but developing a centre of influence is developing a lifetime relationship, whereas you may not necessarily do work for that person to start with. You form a relationship where you're educating each other, they influence, and I think that's a big lesson that I have learned. When I look back, a lot of the work that I've done is from a few people who were basically centres of influence, and they do come back, you know. I think that's a good lesson.
Thank you. When I worked up to national executive leadership level in a large bank, one of the observations I saw about the professional services sector is that everyone has a couple of accountant, lawyer, bank contacts, and they get on really well. They might make 2 or 3 referrals to each other across a year, but behind each of them there's at least 100 companies.
Yeah.
So do the other 97 businesses not need any bank finances over 12 months, any tax planning advice from an accountant, management accounts, forecasts, other accountancy, restructuring advice, legal advice, and so it goes on. So the point being is there's lots more opportunities to work more closely with the people you already work closely with, but you need to take more time out to do that. And beyond the relationship building, getting to know each other's kids and hobbies and playing golf, as you sit down properly with even a flip chart and mind map each other's contacts and networks, and who can you introduce to each other and work more closely with, and sort of doing business development meetings with 3 different companies as well, adding another dynamic to your meeting, and you're killing, in a nice possible way, 2 birds in 1 stone as well. Any other quick questions?
One of the things that I'm quite surprised I didn't actually hear in your presentation is very often we talk about making sales and things like that is identifying needs of people and discussing what they actually have as needs. I'm I'm surprised that didn't feature anywhere within what you were talking.
It's a very short presentation.
So it's in the other 20 minutes then?
Yeah, well, it actually was. It actually was. Yeah, because the version I preferred